I'm Josh with Waupaca Community Media, and we're back again. We've got Ron Saari from the School District of Waupaca and Aaron Jenson from the City of Waupaca. Hello.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, hello.
The first thing we'll talk about this week, it might scare some people and excite others. Bears are once again being sighted in the city.
Yes, we just yesterday I received a call. Actually, and this is last fall, I received a couple as well. So it's becoming a little more frequent. You know, I reached out to the DNRs. They're the subject matter experts on this. And what we're going to do is we're going to post some information for our residents on our community Facebook page that just has some tips. Most of it centers around potential food sources, right? So garbage cans, bird feeders, those types of things, and making it so those things are not accessible for the bears, so they're not continuously coming back to your yard. I think it's important to note that there are over 24,000 black bears in the state of Wisconsin, and as the DNR states, that while this is fairly new to us here in the city of Waupaca, it's not necessarily new across the state. I think the question we get most often is, well, you know, is anything going to be done about it, or at what point is something done about it? And actually, there is a point where the DNR would consider, you know, relocation or whatever that may be. And usually, that point is when a black bear doesn't appear to be worried or scared off by human activity. So if they start feeling very, very comfortable, then it's time to kind of report it to actually the wildlife, USDA and Wildlife Services. Or, you know, call us if you've called the city and we can help make that connection too. But we're going to post more information on our city Facebook page and get it out there so people kind of know and can answer those questions.
So it sounds like the best short-term advice is keep anything they would eat, you know, secure in a way where they can't get to it, and hopefully they stay away from your property then.
Yeah, you know all about that. You go camping all the time. You should.
I've seen a couple out there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So.
And what I found is they're scared of humans. If you move around a little bit or whatever, they just keep on their way.
Right.
Yeah. So some other exciting news: the boys chess team is flying out to Washington, D.C. to compete. That's pretty exciting.
It is Thursday this week. They are driving down to Milwaukee, then getting on the plane and flying to Washington, D.C. for the Nationals. So they're going to compete nationally for hopefully become the national chess champion. Wouldn't that be something?
Hey, it's pretty
Very
cool
talented kids this
something
year.
that big. Yeah.
Yeah, that is awesome. Sorry, when did you say that is, Ron?
They're leaving Thursday. I think they're coming back on Sunday or Tuesday. I'm forgetting. I think it's Sunday, but I could be mistaken.
Okay, cool. Exciting. And just a cool opportunity to go see DC for those students. That's awesome.
Yeah, hopefully they do have an opportunity to do a little sightseeing besides just play chess all day.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of students flying out, I know last week we touched on your band and choir. Went to Florida. They're back, and that was a successful trip.
Yeah, it was. They came back on Tuesday afternoon here, so they spent several days. They left, I believe it was Thursday the week before, and one of my sons was on the trip, and he reported they had a great time. In my weekly update, I had a picture from last week of them leaving. Everybody had a lot of energy, excited. I took some video and pictures when they arrived on Tuesday afternoon. They were wiped. They were tired, but they had a good time. There were some lessons that went on. They did some sightseeing. It was hot. They enjoyed the beach. So it was a good trip for those kids.
Very cool. When I look at the calendar, it says it's spring. When I look at the forecast, it disagrees. But with spring, that means a lot of your spring things are getting started up. And one of those is prom this Saturday.
Saturday's prom was talked about a little bit before. I was just in an aid class, and one of that class they were making their flowers. What is that called? Where they pin it on their dress and suit. I forget the name of it right now. But that's what they were up to. So yeah, that's from 7 to 11 Saturday, and then the post-prom event at the VFW is 11 to 3. So that's exciting. The kids were all excited and pumped up and smiley when we were talking about that.
Very cool. Next Tuesday is a big day. We learned from Barb last week, there's quite a bit more on the ballot than we thought there was. School board, city council, state judicial race, and a couple other races as well, and voting for in person next Tuesday.
Yeah, so you're right. Usually when you go online and if anyone's interested and tries to educate themselves on what's on the ballot, a lot of times it'll just show the big races, right? So there's a couple referendums. One's an advisory referendum. One's a state Supreme Court justice. But a lot of times it won't, it doesn't know your local races. So like you mentioned, the school board, city council. So yeah, get out and vote Tuesday, 7 a.m. at the rec center for city voters to 8 p.m. And our election workers do a fantastic job. They would love to see it. We want to see high attendance. So.
And I know there'll be some more efficiencies this year as far as getting your ballot. They've got the rest of their technology to do the electronic check-ins, so hopefully even quicker lines this time too.
Quicker lines, yeah, the electronic check-in, the Badger books have really helped. And I think it's really important to note that during our February election, even with all this technology, and people have questions around that stuff because it's new, but we got our report from the county who does a lot of the election administration, and Barb and her crew got a gold star because there were 0 discrepancies through that process in February. And I'm sure we can work towards the same here in April. So.
And then Ron, you've got a kind of an interesting story that one of your ag classes is working on that's going to ultimately lead to a fish fry with a little bit of a process to get there. Tell us about that.
Yeah, as you know, we have a terrific ag program, an FFA program, and Mrs. Hannah Whipple is in charge of this now. And one of her classes is called Aquaculture and Wildlife Management. And we have an aquaponics room in our ag section. And so part of it involves the students on the kind of fish that they wanted to raise in our 500-gallon fish tank. And they chose bluegill. So next week we're getting bluegill to the high school. The kids are going to raise them. They're going to be about 3 inches or so, and they will grow up to, I'm told, 8 inches by the end of the school year. And then they're going to process them. So the kids are learning about food products, processing, the fish, nutrition, the digestion system for the fish, water nutrition and regulation, a variety of different pieces and strands. So they're excited. I'm excited. I can't wait to see this fish fry. Over 200 bluegill. I would have done walleye or my favorite fish. If it's panfish, maybe perch. But the kids wanted some bluegill, so we'll see. It'll be fun. Good for them.
It's a long project leading to a delicious reward.
Yeah, yep.
Cool to hear about that in the future. Well, Ron, Aaron, appreciate the time to get everyone up to date, and we will talk again soon.
Very good. Take
Thanks,
care.
Josh.
Thanks.